Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another Republic critique. This is the first of its kind. So as many of you know, I cover a lot of crowdfunding projects. Kickstarter, GameFound, things of that ilk. However, someone said, hey, you should check out Republic. It's very interesting. And I'm excited to check this out with you. This is my first time really on this website. I signed up for it. And how it works is it's not like Kickstarter, where when you back a project, you're expecting to receive that physical project. No, this is much more like you are going to become someone who is invested in this project, and you will see the success. If the project succeeds, you'll see financial. So right now we're just going to check out the FIG portfolio share. So be a part of the success of Legendary Games. It's $1.3 million raised, 541 investors, and it has a $1,000 minimum investment. So you have to come in with at least $1,000. I'll start off by saying this is a very boring main image. Success of Legendary Games. What does that mean? What are the Legendary Games? Right now I see a button, kind of, and a rocket ship. Cool. I don't need your logo. Sell me on the games if I'm getting games. At least that's just my Kickstarter brain coming in. Is there a video? There is. Delightful. So as always, when you go into the video, I'm thinking three things. Do I want it? Can you do it? How much is it? Let's go. $1.3 million raised. Wowzers. Good for them. Psychonauts. What? So I gotta say, right from the offset, I have no idea why I'm watching these. I feel like I'm sitting in an Xbox E3 presentation where it's like, here's the new slate of games coming out. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to be connected to these games yet. And so I'm trying to come at it from that perspective, because I think this is a website that a lot of people would be very interested in. People like Kickstarter. People like being at the front end of things. People love crypto and trying to figure out which crypto is going to explode and get it on these stupid little, poop coins. They call them S coins. So I'm excited to see how this is, but I'm just a little confused right now. Wow, Wasteland 3. What? All on FIG. Cool.
Hey everybody, I'm Ash, this is Justin, and we're from FIG. We're here to talk to you about the amazing relationship that FIG has had with games in the past. Games such as Wasteland 3, Psychonauts 2, Pillars of Eternity 2, Homeworld 3. We've been very fortunate to bring some of these big titles to life. And smaller titles.
I think this is good. I like the fact they mention all those. I think they could have easily interweave something in there from FIG Games, who have created or worked on these projects, and then you splice it in, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I understand why I'm seeing all these games now.
Too.
Yeah, like the first game we ever funded was called Outer Wilds, and it won Best Game of the Year at the BAFTAs in 2019. Also had What the Golf, which was one of the first titles.
Okay, so this, I think, I go back to that main image, which I had a big issue, which was it just looked like a button. Whereas, why don't you show me Psychonauts? Why don't you show me Outer Wilds? Why don't you show me What the Golf? Give me some of your most popular games on there. Catch my eyes, catch my interest, and say, whoa, I'm dealing with a company who's made, big stuff right here. Because while I don't think it's uber competitive on this platform, especially not in gaming is what I noticed, there's still a lot of different things up here right now that are competing for people's time and money. So I think spotlighting that right from the jump, I think would be good.
To launch an Apple Arcade. We had breakout indie hit Kings and Castles, and Phoenix Point was by the creator of XCOM and one of the first launch titles for the Epix Game Store, the creators of Fortnite.
That's right. As well as we've been fortunate enough to have some amazing investors that we've worked with in the past and be able to have them receive.
Ooh, I like how he used the word investor there. That was very well done. And they're looking at the script right here. That's fine. I don't have issues with that. But I do like the use of the word investor there.
Some great returns from that as well.
Yeah, we actually celebrated 3 years of positive investor returns. Last year, we were able to return more than the previous 2 years combined.
Whoa!
So now we're looking to change things up. In the past, we would always run a game campaign on its own, where they would just raise the amount of funds that they needed to develop that game by itself. Now we're looking to raise an amount of money to be able to support multiple games, all from the same raise.
Yeah, and this portfolio approach will give guaranteed allocation to those who participate in our portfolio shares. This allows us to shake things up in other ways too, which is we can fund games that do campaigns on Fig, but we can actually fund games that have used other crowdfunding platforms, or maybe didn't use crowdfunding at all, just did pre-orders. And we've already attracted a bunch of really
It's kind of sounding to me like GameFound, but for video game. I'm not quite understanding the vibe they're laying down, but it sounds like a lucrative vibe. And I think they did a great job showcasing their pedigree to make me feel comfortable with, giving them my money. So far, I like what I see.
big partners, which we're excited to announce. One of which is Atari, which is a household name, has games that actually helped start the whole industry, like Pong, Adventure, Missile Command, Breakout, among many other hits.
Yeah, we also are very excited to work with local Portland indie studio Rose City Games. They've done World Next Door, as well as upcoming Floppy Nights, and they're just a great studio. We're very excited to be partnering with them.
I think this could really use less of you, and I'm not saying that in a negative way in any way, shape, or form, and more of images. And even if you just got into simple little iEditor and you put, instead of the laptop which you have there, which you're using as a teleprompter, don't mind that at all. But if you just put an image over that, I wouldn't even see that space there. It wouldn't look so weird, and you could be showing me images of the companies and little things like that. And so that, I think that would look good. This, to me, reminds me of an early Kickstarter video. I imagine that if this particular platform picks up, these are going to get much, much more polished and refined. Which is, it's fun to see. It's fun to see. But so far, I'm digging it. I feel comfortable.
We also have other indie devs lined up that we will be working with on this portfolio share, but we're not going to announce everything right now.
We're really excited about this.
Okay, so we have in the Kickstarter world what would be equivalent to daily unlocks or information that are going to become unlocked later on. That's exciting. Trying to spread it out throughout the campaign. Interest and buzz. Okay.
We hope you'll join us, and at the end of it, we'll be playing a lot of great games.
That's right. So help us bring some of these amazing games to life.
Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. So first thing I need to do, because typically what I like to do too is check out their previous projects to see how those have gone, to see how, so this was actually, Psychonauts 2 is not even on Kickstarter. It was on Fig. Oh, okay. Okay. Outer Wild, so wow, they raised $3.8 million. The game came out. I remember seeing reviews, mostly positive reviews for it. So right now, I'm feeling very comfortable with the Can You Do It on this, because as always when I come into these videos, I'm thinking three things. Do I want it? Convince me. Can you do it? And how much is it? Can you do it? I feel comfortable. I like a little bit more polish, but other than that, damn, you got everything else. Feel good. It's raised 88% of its minimum goal, which presumably is $1.5 million. 548 investors, 115 days left to invest. Jesus Christ, these are very lengthy. And I say that typically in Kickstarter they recommend 28 days, 28 to 30 days, shorter campaigns. Whereas they say typically one of the 60s. On this, 115. It's just interesting, just an observation I'm noting. Invest in the successful portfolio of amazing games, including 3 legendary IPs from Atari, sequels to beloved classic IPs in the original games. And so once again, I go back to that main image, which was so uninspiring and just boring. And it's like, why don't I see Atari or Outer Worlds or any of that information instead of just your logo? And maybe it's because they're trying to build brand recognition or something like that, but I just don't think that's the play. I think the more information you convey to me there, the better. Because looking for the beginning, Fig portfolio shares, that means nothing to me. Diddly or squat. Now, granted, I am not an investor, so this is all going to be something I'm learning along in the process, and hopefully you do as well. Because this sounds interesting. Invest in the success, so past games funded by Fig won major awards and critical acclaim. Previous Fig's games returned up to 300%. And so this is the Atari library. Pong, Asteroids, Tempest, cool. Fig. BAFTA, Best Game, Outer Wilds. Yeah, I know Outer Wilds is a big deal. I downloaded it on my Xbox for a while, but I never played it. That's because I play Battle Royale all the time. IGN, Best Mobile Game, What the Golf, 2019. RPG of the Year, Pillars of Eternity, PC Gamer, Kingdom and Castles, 9 out of 10. 12,000 positive reviews on Steam. Awesome. 6 million plus paid out to Fig investors since inception. Wow! I actually really like what they're doing right here, because as someone who is new to all this, I'm seeing, wow, $6 million just paid out in the 3 years since this has started? I want to be a part of this. Profitable. Investors enjoyed profits 3 years in a row, 2017, 2018, 2019, with returns as high as 300%. $300 billion projected video games market size by 2025. Yeah, it's massive. Fig is the #1 game funding and publishing platform. Fig is the #1 game funding and publishing platform. It's a platform. Fig Games have nearly 100 nominations for major award shows. The platform helps both well-known and up-and-coming indie developers bring their games to life. With portfolio shares, we are offering a diversified approach where we will be publishing a range of different games and game consoles, from AAA IPs to established indie projects. The games. So, I think, and I'm not quite wrapping my brain around this, so hopefully someone in the comments can say, hey, you're stupid, Forrest. Here's exactly what this is. Explain it to me like I'm 5, and thank you very much, you kind sir or madam, who I will thank later on. I think you're kind of investing in the future of the company. It's kind of like you're investing in the company. But the way they say it, like Fig is a platform, they're Fig, right? They're not going to design the games. They're just going to hire other people to design the games? Is that what? I'm not quite sure. So Atari, legendary publisher, 3-game deal. Rose City Games, they did this stuff. New IP game project, and I'm assuming the IP, so what, hopefully they announce what the IP is during the campaign. Crispy Creative, new indie studio from former members of Obsidian, Telltale, Dark Horse Comics, and Riot. That's a hell of a pedigree right there. That gets me excited. Like, I see those names and I say, hey, I want to invest in that. That sounds like, they could potentially chug out, a big hitter. Like that cute little indie game that sells 1 million copies. I want to be a part of this train right now. I like what they're doing. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite understand everything. It might just be me, but I like what they're sniffing. I don't think that's an expression. Fig has entered into non-binding letters of intent with the above developers. They are just a portion of the projects that Fig Portfolio Shares will be funding. Fig intends to publish at least 10 portfolio products through the sale of Fig Portfolio Shares. I think what's happening is we're giving them the money, and then they are running a video game company. I think that's what this is. Thinksies. Our approach. Fig is looking to assemble a diversified portfolio of games from well-established studios and up-and-coming indies, from sequels to brand new IPs and all points in between. The portfolio will seek to return 2 to 3 in 5 years. AAA IPs, so 3 to 5. Game budget, 1 million up to 5 million. So they're saying we're hoping to put out 3 to 5 AAA games that are all IP games, so like the Atari stuff, like the Pong 2022 or whatever, the Pong Battle Royale. Steal that. Do that. AAA games are going to do 4 to 6, and then 10 to 15 indie games. So essentially, it's kind of like you're like, all right, if just 1 or 2 of these games hits big, your money. I think that's kind of what they're saying here. You're scratching off a bunch of video game lottery tickets, and I freaking love this idea. This is so cool. This is, I can't afford this in any way, shape, or form. There's no way my wife would be like, yeah, $1,000, let's do it. Because, this sounds like a cockamamie scheme. In my financial position, unfortunately. But this is amazing. This is such a cool opportunity right here. I'm glad I'm covering this. Portfolio shares contribution guidelines. 10% of the portfolio shares funds raised. So this is telling us where the money's going. Half of each game's campaign goal or budget. Fig's current standard revenue share of net sales until a 3 times return. So this, I think, could do with a video. I think this right here with a video would be great. And say, here's exactly how investment is going to work. We are planning to break up all the money that's divvied into X, Y, and Z. 3 to 5 are going to be AAA games. 4 to 6 will be AA games. 10 to 15. And how is the money going to come out? I think this would all, this is good. And if you're in the know, I think this is very clean and clear. It looks clean and clear at least. But if you're not in the know, I think a video would be spectacular here. Because I think what Republic.co has here is a very enticing business model. Everybody's trying to get on that next big thing, and this pretty much brings that to people, which I like. How it works, buy shares, NFTs sold. Oh, there's NFTs. Oh my Jesus Christ, there's NFTs. I don't even know what the hell is this? So, okay, I buy shares of the Button thing, and then they make games, and then the revenue shares go to the Button thing, but then biannually I'll get a payout. So 2 times a year I get a payout. I did figure something out. And then all the while they're going to sell NFTs on the market. In particular, they might have IP NFTs, which I think, yeah, so they're going to get NFTs from, wow, holy crap. So you are essentially buying potentially an NFT marketplace as well, in addition to a AAA game company. Oh my God, someone hook up your boy right now, say $1,000 for Christmas and invest me in on this. This sounds like a fun ride. Like, I would love to do a video covering, like, here's my biannual report from this company. I made $16. Like, this is fascinating to me. Through the sale of Fig portfolio shares, Fig intends to co-publish 10 games or game console projects when those... And here's the thing. They can run those projects on Kickstarter. They could do those projects so they could get pre-funded so that everything else is just gravy. Like, this is... I want to invest. Fig has the ability to receive NFTs for participating games should any be produced and has the potential. Okay, I don't understand NFTs, but it sounds good. Thumbs up. Fig will make a small percentage of the funds raised to cover transactional costs and retain a small portion of all funds deployed to developers to cover operating costs. Fig will distribute to shareholders 85% of all the revenues received from the funded games. Funds raised. Minimum and maximum fund size. So the most they would be willing to go is $15 million. Interesting. Service fees, minimum dividends. Well, this is a graph. I failed geometry like 3 times. This is gonna be hard for me right now. Proceeds paid out twice a year and subject to start within. These are numbers and they look awesome. I think the time horizon for investors to be. So here's what I think they need to do here. Are there pledge levels here? On Kickstarter, there's pledge levels. Hey, you can get this, you get this, you get this, you get this. I think I need to see those. I think you should have already show me them. Let me see. What I know $1,000 minimum, but are there different tiers? How does this work? Time horizon for investors, distributors, and retailers. The campaigns start $1,000 share price. Oh, is it just a flat $1,000? The campaign finishes here in like 100 days. And then 1 year from the campaign is when we're going to start getting into stuff. So we get a payout. $0 share value. X year from... So we're buying... I think this means that we're buying a share in the company, but only for a year? Or something? Full share price might be fully tax deductible. Please consult your tax professional. That's the only thing I'm not quite understanding. I invest $1,000, so I just banking on, 1 year we're going to have a big blowout and then I'm going to get paid? Like, I'm not actually buying ownership in the company. I don't know how this works. This one, I'm a little bit confused. Past returns. Fig has been positive returns from the majority of the games it's co-published and funded in the past. This, I would love to see zoomed in. Complete accrued returns, 300. I don't know what this stuff means, but cool. Oh, they're saying all these games are, I don't know. How much money do they make? That's what I think people would want to know here. Like... I think that's them saying we have a good track record. Past games, from sequel to Cold Classes to Baptist Awards. So here's, make these clickable. That'd be great. I don't know if Kickstarter, it's easy to make them clickable. I'm assuming it's probably easy to make them clickable. Make them clickable. Leadership. Can we zoom in a little bit? It's hard to read. This is a very tiny text. The Fix team has a diverse background, which includes industry expertise in video games and fintech. So, and then you invest. You just invest $1,000. You just say, hey, $1,000. Can you invest more? Can I invest $2,000? Yeah. So I think you bet $1,000 for share. I think that's what it looks like. Now, about Fig portfolio shares, it's here. They have social media and stuff. They're in New York City. Good for them. What is this? Republic.co. Fig. This is wait, what? Fig is isn't this what? Wait, what? Is Republic owned by Fig? Is Fig owned by Republic? What's going on here? Are we investing in this website, which is currently running right now? I'm so confused. Okay. So we have people here. FAQ. What are some of the limitations around NFTs? And then we got to the comments. We'll check out the updates, because typically I give a grade on these. I don't even know how to give a grade on this. What do you think about payments to Ukraine citizens 5 hours ago? Is there any benefits to invest now versus the investment deadline in April? We have several publisher groups that we're in discussions with, and even just one of those groups could fill up the remaining allocation very quickly. Also, so what they're saying is, as we announce our big announcements, there's going to be a lot of people who are excited, who are fans of that company, who will then fill up the slots, because once again, they're only going to go up to $15 million, and so you might miss out. I think that's what they're trying to say there. Also, if you invest now and we cross the minimum, then we can announce our first game and start generating returns. So saying, hey, get on here quick so we can start announcing more and more things and get bigger fast. I'm in South Africa and want to know if it's possible we participate in this opportunity. We haven't run into any problems except investments in South Africa, and this is where things get really, really interesting, because this is going to be the kind of website that, if done properly, could be very global, because all they need is your money. This is so fascinating. I am South Korean. Can I get dividends too? Yes. So what I'm seeing here is a lot of people who are new to this. They're like, hey, how does this work? And so I think really what I want to see campaigns do on Republic.co is really try to embrace new people. Because I think this has crossover appeal, mass crossover appeal. You know, people grow up on video games, and now they have the opportunities, assuming they're financially, good enough, to invest in said video games. Like Psychonauts. Like, imagine if you were like, yeah, I got a stake in Psychonauts 3. That's just cool. Can you explain how the share price goes to zero? Yes, this was what I was asking. Sounds like my initial investment can never come back, and all I can expect to see in return is the biannual dividends. The share/dividend structure here is actually a new security that was qualified with the FCC, where the share represents roughly the amount of money being invested in game development and publishing by the investor, but the dividends are the vehicle for distributing the returns generated from the sales of the game. Therefore, once all the money has been distributed to development and publishing, and the dividends have all been paid, the share price goes to zero. So I think this means you're investing in just these, the 3 to 5 triple. See, and that's why I think a video going over this very cleanly and clearly, explain it to me like I'm 5, would be spectacular here. Because I think there's a lot of people that would love to get down on this. I came across a blockchain game where they're giving special early access to contributors of Fig campaign. So if I invest here, do I get early access to NFTs and gaming tokens still? If yes, how does it work? This is Moonray, and it's separated from this, but it actually helped inspire our NFT approach. Okay, in the final chart on the offering, I'm reading correctly that it's estimated just over $50K will be paid out to investors after the other fees and costs. So this, you need a larger FAQ, it looks like. Like, you have one FAQ, but it looks like you have a plethora of questions here. And once again, that's not good. Once I get done with your story, I really shouldn't have too many questions. So I think you need to go back potentially and reorganize, add more information, put in a video, clear up some of this section right here. Because you're trying to raise $1.5 million, I think you can take the time to, spruce up the graphic design a little bit. And now that I'm looking at it, go back to that original video, and it's just, I feel like that could have been spruced up a little bit more. You're asking for $1.5 million. The state of the Fig. Earlier today, Fig set out. So these are updates out of the state of the Fig update email, and we want to make sure to share the same exciting news here, 2021. So let's see if these are engaging updates. Wow, this is a text-heavy one. It's been an extremely successful year for video games. The Republic ecosystem has raised over $50 million for across 3 offerings: in Television Amco, a Fig Game Share offering; Digital Eclipse, a Fig Game Share offering; and Robot Cache, a Reg A+ offering hosted. These would be great if these had links, so I could at least understand what you're saying. Because I might have extra money, and I might say $1,000. Sure, I want to go along on this ride. So let's see what the hell happens. It sounds like fun. I could very realistically see people doing this. So when I get to this update, I kind of want you to talk to, I don't know. I don't know what this stuff means. Dumb it down a little bit. This year, Fig also announced the launch of 2 of the first ever video game investable portfolios: Fig Gaming Shares, Digital Eclipse, yada, yada, yada. What was next for Fig? We are closing across 1 million investment commitments, and as we continue to raise more money, we'll be sharing more details on the 10 game projects we will be funding with Fig portfolio shares. Also, if and when the Fig portfolio share offering crosses the minimum, we'll have exciting news to share regarding the first NFT drop Fig is part of. So please keep an eye out for more exciting news on Fig portfolio shares. Yes. I love this game. It's great news. Excited. Great move. Excellent news. Okay. Thanks for the update. Looking forward. Thanks for the update. Great. Just got in time. Just clear the NFT. The NFT is for investors here or for customers of Fig Games. Yeah, okay. So, solid update. I think you should always end with a question. But then again, that's... and then we have reviews. Here, from some of the 541 investors in Fig portfolio shares. This is interesting. I'm excited about the opportunity for legacy and a new video game development. I'm also excited about the potential NFT component. Leadership team has some great experience that will help drive revenue growth. Now, I think this is very interesting that they are showing these people's profiles, and I think this is actually kind of genius. So, let's say that Minaj Joseph here has invested in 3 or 4, and they've gone extremely well. What if they earned a little badge that said, like, on fire investor or something like that? That would be cool. Like, that's a cool thing right here. They're kind of gamifying this a little bit here. Because, like, imagine if this was on Kickstarter and there was just a section and it was like, why did you choose to back this game? It's like, I thought it looked fun. I like the kitties. Like, Jesse Ruiz, 50 grand. I don't want you in my room, but you still need me a little too. LOL. I love it. I just don't know how to get my bad. I don't know what to say. I love it, but I'm just trying not so. I just don't know how much you love you and how I love it and how you do. I know I don't want you, but you can always do it for when I do that. You need me away. You cannot love it. I just want to be able to love to see it. And you say, I don't know what I do with my love. I don't know what you want me. I love it, but you always do that. I don't treat. That was not where I was expecting that quote to go when I started it. But Jesse Ruiz dropping 50K. What the hell? Peter Taylor, 10 grand. I have confidence in Republic's unique quality-oriented vetting process, along with this unique offering, resetting the investment paradigm, a huge shift from past conventional, and for which the Figs, we're moving on. I don't understand that. Give it 10% a chance. Give it a 10% chance of 100 times payoff. You should take that bet every time. Jeff Bezos. How many millionaires? So these are just quotes. Games are the future, and being able to take part in this amazing. Glad there is an opportunity and experience as a resource and the thing. I invested because I believe in Fig and everything they have done in the past. I trust them and make intelligent decisions when it comes to video games. Okay, this is an interesting section. I actually really like that. Good on you, Republic or Fig or whoever the hell is pulling the strings. Deal terms of an investment. The smallest, so 1,000. Maximum investment, 1 million. Funding goal, between there. Deadline, here. Type of security. And then price per share. The price, okay. This is so, then there's a how it works section. Okay, I wish I would have saw this first. You invest in Fig and receiving Fig portfolio shares Series 2021, which will pay distributors based on Fig's right to sales receipts. So, you give money, you give it to Fig. Fig gives the money to the developers. The developers make games, and the games make money, then the money goes back to you. Okay. Estimated lifetime distributions. Here we go. The graph above assumes the Fig funds amount is $15 million. It shows the estimated lifetime distributions for a single Fig portfolio share. Oh, so this is okay, I see. So the break-even number we need for all of these games is $4.5 million that they need to earn a profit or something, and then at $9 million they take 2. Total return, backtesting Fig's previous performance against new approach, and so they're saying this is what we expect the thing to be. So if you invest, $10,000, it'll turn into $28,750. This is okay. This is interesting. All right, so let's do this. Final grade, Fig portfolio shares. Do I want it? Yeah, I do. It sounds cool. You got a good pedigree. I'd like a little bit more polish, but it looks rock solid. I wish you talked a little bit dumber to me because I think you're offering something that's incredibly cool and would appeal to a huge group of people, especially the people who grew up with Atari and have a lot of disposable income nowadays. And, if you got a lot of disposable income, a lot of people like to see if they can make a lot of disposable income into a lot more disposable income, and this seems like the kind of thing that would be fun to take a ride on. Not to mention this is the kind of thing you could talk about. Oh yeah, I found out this new investing thing. I'm actually investing in video games. The video games they're going to make. They got a couple AAA titles in the boot. Yeah, they're doing a Pong sequel. Like, that sounds cool. That new Asteroids game. Go get that. I got invested in that. Like, that is just a neat thing to say. So do I want it? Yes, I do. How can you do it? Yes, I feel comfortable with that. You have a proven track record. You did a great job showcasing that track record. And then how much is it? $1,000, that's not that much. Like, I honestly, I'm not even going to try and talk my wife into it, but I think, like, because that's like a Christmas bonus or something like that if you happen to have an amazing job, which luckily my wife does. But this is interesting. This is intriguing. So how much is it? I think it's reasonable, $1,000, because you have the potential to make even more. So final grade on this one. I wish they talked a little bit dumber to me. I also think that main image, going back to that main image, it is boring, and it does not do a good job to convey anything. I think this is so... Being a part of the success of Legendary Games, how much more information are you allowed to put here? Psychonauts, Pong, list me some game. Show me something more than a rocket going around a button here. So I don't like that. But overall, I'm going to give this one a B+. That was a fun ride to go through. I didn't feel like I'm going to get ripped off on it. It actually seems like a solid investment, and not just a solid investment, but a fun ride of an investment. So, yeah, I'm going to give it a B+, I think. I've never checked out another one of these, but I was impressed by my first one. So that is the Fig Portfolio Shares. Let me know what grade you're giving this one in the comments down below. Also, let me know if you enjoyed this segment. What you thought of it? Have you ever used Republic? Do you want to see more content like this? Let me know all that down in the comments below. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube. Bye-bye.